This latest gen Toyota Vellfire might just look like a box on wheels, but as was true for the last model, it's a luxury car you didn't know you wanted. This is why. The Vellfire, for those of you who may not know, is Toyota's big global MPV. It's the current craze among India's rich and famous and has even gone on to become an unlikely red carpet regular. Mind you, this new gen model was launched in India way back in 2023, but such has been the demand, even the Tibet Toyota that wouldn't cut a queue seemingly got their hands on their own media car only now. You wouldn't buy a Vellfire or any MPV for that matter primarily for the way it looks, but this new model does look less grand airport pickup and more luxury product than the last one did. Of course, it's the 5-meter length, 2-meter height and massive body that make it unmissable even amidst luxury sedans and SUVs. There's more bling too. The huge 6-slat grille that almost extends to the floor is slathered in dark chrome, there's more of the shiny stuff lining the bumper, and even the headlamps up top sport a jewel look. You get the full effect of the Vellfire's towering size at the side that makes even the 19-inch rims look small. A stylistic fold at the window line gives the slab-sided Vellfire some distinction in the world of MPVs, while at the back a roof spoiler and protruding bumper adds some sportiness, if you will. Make what you want of the way it looks, because the real story starts when you open the powered sliding rear door and step up into a different world. Well, it might be a bit of a step up into the Vellfire's cabin, but that trek up is worth it, particularly if you are going to be sat in this middle row, because these are the seats that you've paid those big bucks for. Now this is a very serious luxury vehicle, so no bench seat configuration here. You get these individual chairs, and let me tell you that they are no less than thrones. Now, as you can tell, there's absolutely no shortage of space even for a 6-footer like myself. But should you find yourself in need of even more space to stretch out, you can push the front passenger seat forward to free up even more legroom, and should that not be enough, you can take your seat back as well. There's living room levels of space inside. Now there are two ways to control the seat, so you have physical buttons over here, and you also get a detachable screen, which is your go-to control for a lot of the seat settings and settings at the rear. There's a lot packed in, so let's go one by one. There's seat heating, ventilation and massage. And of course, it doesn't end there, because you can fold out the leg rest, which is a nice way to end a long day at office. But for the real deal, to catch those power naps before those big meetings, take the backrest all the way back. How many luxury SUVs and sedans give you this? But since I'm still at work, I'll snooze some other time. I'll be honest about my job and give you a tour of what else there is on the backseat of the Vellfire. So, controls on the roof include for ambient lighting. You get dual zone climate control dedicated for this section of the cabin. There's a rear seat entertainment system. There won't be any quarreling over the sunroof with your co-passenger, because both sides get individual glass panels with their own dedicated sunshades. Even the windows get powered sunshades. There's lots and lots of storage packed in. You get a cup holder here. There's lots of storage here, USB ports. Everything is well taken care of. And if you really need to pack in a quick bite, you can do that. And to look your best for those page 3 parties, you even get a vanity mirror. Middle row space and comfort is just brilliant. And it won't be too bad for your entourage at the very back either. Access to the third row, for starters, is convenient enough. So as you've just witnessed, you don't need to be a yogi to make it back to the third row of the Vellfire. There's enough room even for a large individual to come all the way here. Now, space-wise, this seat is set to its most extreme, most rearward setting, and that's to allow the middle seat passenger to really enjoy their experience. But you can balance out space. There is the option to move the seat forward to free up some luggage room. You also get a backrest recline, which is handy on long trips. You also get powered sun blinds at the very back, dedicated air conditioning vents. There's some storage on the roof. There's bottle holders, cup holders, as well as USB ports. So this is actually a very usable third row, probably the best in the business. Access to the Vellfire's luggage area is via a powered tailgate that's large enough to do justice to the word gate. There's loads of flexibility built in, with the option to push the third row seats far forward, or you can manually swivel them out of the way too to free up courier van levels of room. For all its space though, the Vellfire doesn't offer enough room for a spare tire. Then again, the off chance of a flat tire is likely a problem your chauffeur will have to deal with. Speaking of which, let's have a look at what the driver's end of the cabin is like. I don't expect too many Vellfire owners to spend a lot of time on this seat, but for comparison's sake, I can tell you that the new gen Vellfire takes a huge leap up over the older one, especially in terms of perceived quality and the ambience that you get inside the cabin. Now, a lot of the materials are now soft touch. There's very generous use of leather. The seats look rich, the dashboard looks rich. So all in all, it is a big step up. Even the wood effect is convincing, but elements like the switches do feel a bit ordinary. Now, the dashboard is dominated by this large touchscreen, and it's actually a very nice touchscreen. Now, it doesn't feel cutting edge in its UI or interface, but it does pack in wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay, and for many, that's a job well done. Now, there is also climate control that's packed in onto the touchscreen, but you get these physical rotary dials that really make a big difference in ease of use. Comfort is also well taken care of. These seats are really nicely done. They get power adjust. The driver's seat also gets memory. The steering is power adjust, which is a really nice feature. You also get quite a bit of storage. So you get two cup holders over here. There's a wireless charging pad over here. Large bottle holders, fold out cup holders near the AC vents. A huge box between the front seats, and the cool thing is that it opens both ways. What is a bit disappointing is the glove box, which is annoyingly small. Of the other things, the Vellfire packs in digital dials, a 15-speaker JBL audio system that delivers just decent sound, and there's connected tech too. Here's a quick look at all the features on board. Before we get moving, here's a bit on what lies beneath. The Vellfire uses monocoque construction and is built on Toyota's TNGA K platform meant for large models. Notably, the version for India is front-wheel drive only. Versions sold abroad can be had with a rear electric motor that enables all-wheel drive. In effect, the Vellfire is the most expensive front-wheel drive vehicle on sale in India. Driving the front wheels via an eCVT is a strong hybrid arrangement. The powertrain comprises a 192 horsepower 2.5-litre 4-cylinder petrol engine and a 182 horsepower electric motor. The hybrid system's combined max power is 250 horsepower. The power figures are not bad, but this is not a vehicle you buy for performance, not by any stretch of the imagination. This one's job is to transport 7 passengers in comfort. If you're in a hurry, the Vellfire is probably not the right vehicle for you. The Vellfire loves easygoing driving and gentle cruises, but ask anything more of it. Press down a bit harder on the accelerator pedal, and that CVT-ness of the drivetrain comes right through. The engine will become audible, almost as if it's voicing its disappointment that you've brought it back into action. For its part, the transition between EV mode and hybrid mode, where the engine also comes into the picture, is very smooth, but you do hear the engine, and that is something that sort of stings at this price point. When there is enough charge in the battery, you have the option of an EV mode, and that brings the decibel levels right back down. And that is when you see the Vellfire in its best light.
The Vellfire actually feels its best in stop-start urban confines, where the hybrid setup keeps the Vellfire in its comfort zone.
For those looking to use the Vellfire as a long-distance vehicle, you should know that it'll get the job done, but the powertrain doesn't make it feel as effortless as a strong diesel or even a strong turbo petrol engine would.
There's also a bit of a learning curve when piloting a Vellfire.
Now, the Vellfire isn't the kind of vehicle that you just get into and get comfortable with, and that's because of this glass house. Now, it is large, gives you a great view, but initially, the base of the windscreen is something you'll find very far away from you, and that makes it a bit difficult to judge the frontal extremities of the vehicle.
Even so, U-turns need a bit of planning, and when parking, it doesn't help that the 360-degree camera isn't very high-res. Also, while the Vellfire's floor looks low, we didn't actually have an issue with clearance, even on large speed breakers. Do note, no height-adjustable air suspension here. The Vellfire uses steel springs. Standard for India are camera and radar-based Advanced Driver Assistance Systems, or ADAS.
The ADAS features work well. In Keep Assist has been put to good use over my drive on the coastal road, which is really well marked. The feature of bigger use has been the blind spot warning, which really comes handy when you're in something as large as the Vellfire.
ADAS aside, the Vellfire's safety suite also includes 6 airbags, ESC and ISOFIX child seat mounts. Enough driving for the day, time to head back to the seat of power.
Now, for the experience on the back seat comfort is absolutely spectacular. The cooling function, the heating function, the massage function, the seats themselves just add up to take away all the stress of a hard day at the office. But I do have the right to nitpick after having dropped 1.5 crore rupees on my Vellfire. So let's go. For instance, these windows, now they're very long, but they're not all that large, so you don't get that panoramic view that you'd want from your MPV. Then there's the ride comfort. It is good, but is it good enough? I don't think so. You still feel the bumps and potholes on the road. They do come in. It does get filtered to quite an extent, but you'll want more. There's also the matter of road noise that comes into the cabin.
Now, it's not to the extent of being a disturbance, but every decibel counts at this price point. The Vellfire starts at 1.22 crore rupees, with this VIP executive lounge spec yours for 1.32 crore rupees ex-showroom. That's a crazy 40 lakh rupee plus jump over the last gen model's launch price in 2020. The Vellfire is clearly not your average level-headed Toyota, nor is it your typical practicality above all else MPV. It's a luxury good, and Toyota would like you to think it's priced as such too. A like-priced luxury sedan or SUV will get you more power and deliver a quieter experience, and of course there's the lure of a more prestigious badge too. But nothing, and I mean nothing at this price, can match the Vellfire's rear seats for comfort. For the chauffeur-driven who merely want to lounge on their way to work or home, the Vellfire will be money well spent. Toyota's peace of mind ownership and a claimed 19.28 kpl fuel economy figure would perhaps help strengthen the case for the Vellfire with the company CA2. But you know what? There's an even more exclusive, more refined and comfier option from the house of Toyota. It's none other than the Vellfire's cousin. It's called the Lexus LM, and it goes up to 2.6 crore rupees. When damn!